Hi, welcome to the Augmentation of Man with Kent and Renee Miller, where we are bringing the future. And, you know, we just started saying this because our guides have led us in that direction. We were talking about redoing business.
It's redirecting the course of humanity.
Wait a minute, I was talking about something.
Oh, okay.
Our guides, when we were talking about redoing our website and having new business cards made up, told us to put on the business card, we are giving the future. So that's what you're seeing. That's what we're bringing in. So we are bringing in the future where humanity is going. And today,
hopefully, yes,
we're going to talk about
redirecting the course of the pathways of humanity.
Diametrically. We are diametrically being pushed and pulled in a whole new direction. And we're going to talk about some of the things that are going on today. So everything that is happening, absolutely everything that is happening today has a reason and has a purpose, including all the chaos.
It doesn't necessarily have purpose, it has effect.
It has an effect.
Yeah.
Where it's pushing us into a whole new direction as a species.
Yeah, I received predictions clear back to 2008
about some of the things that are happening now.
And that's has to do with neutrons and gamma rays and things like that. I didn't understand it, even neutrons. I didn't understand it then. But now
no, we didn't.
No, we didn't. And we couldn't really explain it then because we didn't understand it. They say you cannot explain or teach something until you understand it.
And really, it was first published in the Augmentation of Man, a Study in Renaissance in chapter 12. And we didn't really do any deciphering in the first edition because we didn't understand it.
Well, we partially understand it. We didn't understand the wholety of the thing, the complexity
But
of it.
Now, well, last week, we saw a significant rise in the neutron count coming in. So, you know, our scientists, our astronomers noticed cosmic rays coming in about 2010, and they continue to rise every year. The neutron count and the gamma ray count is rising consistently every year.
And we're trying to get this information out for those. They might think, oh, I don't want to learn about neutrons or gamma rays or subatomic particles or anything. But all this that we're going to tell you matter of where we're going
as a species. This is our transformation, and we're going to talk about that. We're not going to get into real technical terms, but you can look up neutron count, as we brought up in our last video, is on spaceweather.com. They have the neutron count for the day as collected by the Oulu Cosmic Ray Station. And so you can visit either site.
And most of this has to do with restructuring subatomic organic, which is us, matter, and will affect those that it will affect
those that are
DNA,
ready.
All those are ready, affect the DNA and create various results from the effect of the change of the DNA.
So we have an interface of our spirituality and our understanding and our own vibration with this physical mass.
Yeah, but remember, DNA makes up who we are.
Yes, in a physical expression. But so our spiritual ness, our own vibration is interfacing with this physical body. And these cosmic rays that are coming in are changing all matter, all mass at the subatomic level, and that includes our physical body. And so for those who are ready to move on to the next step in our spiritual evolvement, that vibration is also interplaying in
Okay.
this whole picture.
You won't see, a lot of this is subatomic, very nanolithic particles. And it's changing.
Nanolithic.
Okay. It's changing the gases in our atmosphere to where you don't see it, you don't know it. And this will eventually affect how we think and what we do, how we react to events.
And so the bottom line is it's going to change the behavior of man through our thinking process.
Now, will everybody change? Not everybody will change for the good. We're not sure how it's going to affect everyone, but it's going to affect everyone in a way that
To some degree, but it's not going to be a visual thing, right? This is at a underlying level. And so there will be things that evolve out of it, and it's going to cause us to pause and go, why is this happening? Why am I feeling intuitive? Why am I hearing voices? That sort of thing. But that will eventually come later on down the road.
If it changes your thought patterns, it will change your behavior, because your behavior is based on your thought patterns.
Right. And so this neutron field and the gamma rays that are coming in, this stream coming in from outside of our galaxy, is changing all matter at the subatomic level gradually. This is not something that's going to happen overnight, but it changes the atmospheric gases, and it's restructuring things. So at the subatomic level, everything is getting restructured, and it's going to have an impact on our thinking process. And it's combined also with a lot of other things. The magnetic field is being redirected, vibration is brought in, the earth vibration is rising up.
Yeah,
it's actually
reacting to the vibrations with more earthquakes around the world, more volcanic activity.
Well, that's the earth changes.
Yes,
that's another segment.
That's part of it. But a new cycle of conceptual learning begins, because you have to learn why you were here, what the learning is, the importance of our learning.
That is the reason why our life existence, it's the whole purpose of our life. So it's the learning. It's not to come here and just fool around and have a good time and party, because we're not really learning. We're not focused on that. We're distracted.
How about the grand cycle? The grand elliptical path.
Okay, so the Earth's grand cycle, if you have, say, the center of the galaxy is here,
like
and the Earth,
right?
Yeah, it's kind of oblong shaped, and the Earth is rotating, and this is like almost 26,000 years. So Earth is rotating, comes back. The furthest distance from the galaxy, the center of the galaxy, and we crest this curve, and we come to this point over here where the rebalancing of everything has to occur. So the amount that the Earth is out of balance, there's an equal and opposite force that has to bring it back into balance. And if you look at our society today, we are extremely out of balance. And a lot of that has to do with our perceptions that are not aligned to truth. So, but even at that, so truth has to come out, the earth has to rebalance. That's going to include earthquakes and volcanic activity.
Some people call those different points on the different ends going away from the creator and coming back towards the creator. And many are saying we've been going away from the creator, now we're coming back. So that's what we hear out there, different.
And it kind of ties in with where we're at. We're being told by our spiritual guides that most people on earth have forgotten creator.
Yeah, they got their own interpretation of what things should be.
And that really is a part of all of this picture too, is to bring us back to the creator. Now, a lot of people have steered away, I believe, because of their aversion to religion. And so we want to let you know that some of the old teachings about who God is not really aligned to the truth. So if you want to know more, we visited that in other videos.
About do your own research. That's how you believe when you do your own research. Somebody tells you something, you'll go, oh, okay, I might believe that. But if you do your own research and find out what the truth is, then you will understand.
And God is not some man in the sky.
The creator.
That is, you know, God is a creational energy, intellectual energy field. And so this neutron field will heighten our understanding of who we are on this earth plane. That is at the soul level. And it will create the conditions for those who are ready to move to a higher plane of learning, and that is through the recognition of the higher self. But very few will be able to recognize the higher self, right?
Well, yeah, that's the way things are going to happen, the way they're going to be. So,
other changes that are going to happen, expect all these institutions that exist today are going to crumble.
Yeah, they're going to go by the wayside. And new things that will help humanity will develop out of all this crumbling and chaos.
Right.
A new planetary alignment will eventually balance and reunite humanity if humanity allows us.
And so massive earth changes also with this rebalancing. So we're talking about a shift of the axis where the axis comes back to near zero. We're talking about a change and it may be slight, but a change in the orbit.
A change in the direction as a species.
Humanity is changing, subatomic matter is changing, and our beliefs will be changing. Our understanding will change.
Yes, it's an example, Orions and other planets. Orions will change position.
Other planets will shift also because it's a rebalancing of the galaxy. So everything eventually gets out of balance, and everything has to be brought back into balance. Orion's change in position will have an impact on our character, the focus of our purpose, and our thought
which
process.
Has to do with our thought process.
Yes.
To change the character.
Yeah. And so this is a good change. It's massive change. It's
you see how we discuss what they tell us. We just don't take everything right on top and say, oh, this means this. We discuss it and come to an agreement on what we think it probably means. But you have to discuss things.
And also, when we receive communication, this is in a different way than we speak. So it requires actually deciphering the message. And a lot of
many times we don't agree what it means, so we do the discussion. The thing is, whether you agree or not agree with someone, if you can discuss it, you can come to a point of mutual understanding of both points.
And so free speech and healthy debate are good things. So these cosmic rays coming in are going to create an event of great magnitude. It's going to neutralize Earth's atmospheric fields, or all fields that relate, as far as we understand, that are associated with the Earth, so that these subatomic changes can be made, and they'll be made within the gaseous atmosphere, within the matter, and it will bring everything back to a more connectedness where different networks are brought together and expanded upon.
Isn't that the plasmic?
Within the plasmic field, particularly. And so what is that going to mean? That means that we will have a new and improved neural net, which would be how we receive communication, telepathic communication. So that's going to have an impact on a lot more people than
Well,
now exists.
yeah, this is what we're assuming is going to have an impact on more people, but we do not know for this for sure. It may just awaken those that are partially awake.
So, and again, this is not overnight. This is done in small increments, but consistently over a period of time. So it's not
Humans
perceived very easily by humans.
Right,
but
humans are going to go through traumatic events.
That's
that
right.
Causing this, and they're going to be in the scream mode, I guess you could say. So.
Well, and we see that now. So we've been talking about this, particularly with our friends, our closer friends, that there's going to come a time when things are really chaotic and there's a lot happening, and you add these earth changes, earthquakes, and
along with the human changes, and if there's lack of food, how humans are going to react for less food and try to gain control of others that have food. This is all going to happen.
Yes. And so we were just told the other day, you were told to put your seatbelt on because it's going to be a bumpy ride. So be prepared for that, and keep in mind that all these events, yes, truth is coming out. Truth will raise
its head. Truth will come out.
All these events are bringing the truth out. There's a lot of chaos, but we're not supposed to hide behind a rock. We are supposed to reflect on these events, because this is major learning that we need to go through to get to the other side. This is what is going to qualify us for the conceptual learning cycle that we've been talking about, that we're entering. And in fact, the ancients did tell us within this past week that they have actuated some sort of change within the magnetic field that's going to be quite significant. So we don't know what that looks like, but there are massive changes coming on every level. So do take the time, though, with all these events going on, to process it and to look at it and to understand them.
To learn.
That is a part of our change.
We must go through. We have to learn, like we were talking about today, when the events happen in your life. Look back. Don't be afraid to open your life and say, this happened. Okay, what did I learn from this? Whether it's 10, 15, 20, 25-year-old, look back, see what happened, and what did you learn from that? And when you do learn, your whole life will begin to change. But you have to learn your past to be able to affect your future.
And not only our personal events, but the social events that are taking place today. There's a lot of connecting the dots that needs to happen for our awakening. This is awakening to what's really going on. It's an awakening to the truth. And we can no longer live in a paradigm that does not mirror what is actually happening here on Earth. And so do take the time to watch the news. You can limit it, but you need to be able to see the truth and to be able to connect dots and find out how a lot of these events are connected. There's people and networks within those people that are doing some bad things that we need to know about in order to change it. And if we ignore it, it will not change.
What happens in the universe, chemically, electrically, and all these different things will change our DNA, will affect our body, to change our DNA, that we will tolerate a warmer planet.
That's part of the plan. So part of our DNA changes is to accept or be able to, our physical bodies be able to tolerate a warmer planet, because that is in the works.
And that's when the planet itself actually changes its spin. That's going to be part of this.
Yes, we've got a lot of changes, oceans shifting, many
But
things.
why get worried about it? Look at it, accept it, and make your changes to your life pattern
to flow with it.
Flow with it, yes, because you can't run in fear constantly.
We can't change it.
No, we can't change it, and we can't run in fear. We have to understand it and learn from it.
And consider the information as a gift so that you can prepare. So how do you prepare? Get seeds, stock up on food, have a clean source of water. This is not the
first time that humanity has gone through this.
No.
And this is
in
thousands
fact,
of times throughout the lifespan of the earth.
Right. If you talk to the Native Americans, they talk about these cycles, and they always end in calamitous events. And this is where we're at right now. It's wiping the counter clean to start over again and to start out right, aligned to a higher truth where we are recognizing our higher self, where the soul starts to feed back information that we've learned in other lifetimes and other lessons, other memories that we have stored within the soul, so that we know who we are at the soul level.
Yeah, natives people throughout the world, not just here in the United States, but throughout the world, they pass down their legacies to each generation. We're connecting to outside entities and understanding a higher understanding of why we're here, what this is all about. If you really want to know, if you connect yourself with Native people somewhere around the world, they will begin to open your eyes. If you listen to them and don't interfere with what they do, but listen to what they say, it is most enlightening and changing. Yes.
Yeah. And so this is the beginning of a new cycle. It is an upgrade to our nervous system through a higher electrical impulse and a different, slightly different chemical reaction. The earth is rebalancing. We're going to be able to have the opportunity to recognize the higher self, to have the higher self communicate to us, to the physical self. And that sounds much like outside communication, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you would know it sounds the same, except that the higher self will announce that it's the higher self.
Right. And we will know when these things happen. It will be profound, something I can say.
So listen to the inner voice, and always use your deciphering, because when other entities start talking to you, they're not always truthful entities. You have to know how to decipher.
If you want to know more about it's in the second, well, both books, but it's in the second book to explain more of how this works. If you're interested,
it goes into more detail.
Right, and you can go over it and read it a couple of times, and you can absorb the meaning of it and what it actually says.
So a lot of the cosmic ray changes that are occurring they're actually in a study in Renaissance in chapter 12, and also in the acquiescence of humanity in chapters 3 and 4.
I think, yes.
And so it talks about all these changes coming in and the impact it has. And humanity is being pushed from every angle to redirect us to a completely new paradigm. And it's going to be a good one. We just have to get through
the bad times.
all this stuff.
Anyway, we want to thank you for listening, and hope you understand what we're saying and can lean towards learning.
That's our whole purpose. They call this an experiential learning field. And so you just have to think about why you're living in a hologram.
Okay.
It's all about the lessons.
With that, thank you for being with us, and we will continue these broadcasts as we figure out what all these things mean and when we figure it out, we'll put it on video and share it with you so you can understand it.
So peace be with you on your journey to enlightenment. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye now.